back. Oh.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. We're here for the Liverpool show, and Gini has definitely taken something. We can confirm this. But the rest of us, I think we're fairly normal. How are we all doing?
I'm good.
Decent. Obviously, we had a little break because Southgate decided to ruin my life for a couple of weeks. Always fun experience. Genuinely wouldn't look out of place at Ecstasy. But we finally can get away from international football. And now we are all about club football again. And we are all about Liverpool tonight. And it's been quite an interesting one for you guys, hasn't it? Obviously, looks like Brazil are trying to piss off your club now. So just add that to your list of rivals. Because Brazil have sort of petitioned for FIFA to ban your Brazilian players from playing the next 5 days, which means they would miss Champions League and the game, obviously, on Sunday. Liverpool have responded saying Liverpool believe FIFA has no basis with which to ban Premier League clubs from selecting South American players who have refused permission to go on internationals. Rak, I'll start with you. Liverpool, another rivalry. Apparently now the entire of Brazil is now your rivals.
Well, first of all, fuck FIFA. It's a bit crazy, to be honest. I mean, surely these people can't expect us to have a situation where players, and bear in mind we pay their wages, go into another country and then have to quarantine on the way back and potentially miss more games. Like, I understand, look, international football is probably not as important in England as it is in other countries. Like, you see some of the way that players react nationalistically. The Brazilian players are obviously very proud to be Brazilian and very proud to play for Brazil, as do most nationalities who come and play in the Premier League. But like these are incredible times, and we need to be a little bit more cautious about and potentially look to do things slightly differently, at least until hopefully we return to some degree of normality. And just look at what the president of Brazil has been espousing over the last year and a half, and you'll see that some of the blame needs to be laid at their own leadership, let alone the club. So let alone rather than just laying at Liverpool's door for not releasing players, and that's probably not going to win many friends.
Well, they would have had to have quarantined in Brazil as well, because we're on Brazil's red list as well. So because we've put them on ours, they've put us on theirs. It's like, well, the English players would have had to have quarantined to go to Brazil anyway, which would have meant they would have probably missed games for Brazil, maybe played 1-2 games, and after quarantine, missed 3-4 games for Liverpool before they can play a game. Like, this is nonsensical. Where is the sensibility and the flexibility that we were promised by FIFA and by the Premier League that, look, we'll try and be as flexible as we can, and then Brazil or Comic Ball or whoever it was decided to add in an extra game because they missed some qualifiers back in the thing when they played the Copa America. Like, I nonsensical is beyond belief here. But it makes no sense to me. But Gini, what do you make of it? I mean, are you sort of in Rack's corner where you say fuck FIFA?
They'll bottle it. Our Brazilians are playing Sunday, I'm 100% sure. But even if they do get banned, we actually get them for our Champions League game, which is fairly lucky. Because
is it?
It runs out on Tuesday, and we play on Wednesday. So
it's because United fans were celebrating that Fred would be unavailable for 2 games.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was both days, mate. They were jumping up and down with joy when they found out Fred wasn't playing.
Yeah, but to be fair, it's not. Look, you'd obviously rather have your players playing, especially when Fab and Alisson, who are so integral to our team. But if there was a silver lining, at least it rules out Rafinha. But in all honesty, it's a joke. It should never happen. And I think they'll bottle it. I think they have to bottle it. Like City will be out without Edison, Jesus, Villa without two of their Argentinians. It's too crucial to our team. It's not fair.
Villa already out because Villa was stupid enough to give them permission.
Oh yeah, of course.
The entire Premier League, like the Premier League, the big boys who no one can really touch the Premier League as a corporation. Has literally been on the side of the clubs and gone, nope, they're not leaving. And Villa and Spurs were like, we'll just let them go. It's like, are you dumb?
They could have been spending the night at Stamford Bridge, but instead, apparently, they're spending the night in a prison cell. By the looks of things.
But I think they're back in the UK now.
Oh, are they back in the UK?
I think so. They were detained to be deported out of Brazil. I mean, that was. I wish we did a watch along for that because that would have been comical. I've never heard of a game being stopped by officials of a country going, nah, this lot need going. Like, freaking hell. Like, Jesus Christ. South America are in the mud. They are so in the mud. But Rhys, what's your stance on this?
Sorry, is this the cater stuff?
No. It's FIFA that are trying to ban your South American players from playing on Sunday because they were banned from playing internationals.
Just corruption at its finest. I mean, there's still time. I've seen apparently the City are trying to get their players back, so obviously we'll try, I guess. But if they are out, then it makes zero sense because obviously Richarlison's allowed to play because of so-called good relations, even though he's actually been to Brazil. So it makes no sense. But it's just FIFA in a nutshell, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's
true. When it's actually going to be resolved, like when the final decision is going to come from whoever it's supposed to come from.
I can only imagine tomorrow, because obviously the game week starts. Is it tomorrow or Saturday? The game week starts
Saturday. So game week starts Saturday, so has to be dealt with tomorrow. Has to be dealt with tomorrow. I'm guessing
I imagine it will have to be like detailed in like some sort of contractual thing that will have to be confirmed, which would obviously have to be signed off by a certain time, won't it?
Yeah, I'd presume so. I mean, FIFA obviously will have something in place. I'm guessing. If the worst was to happen and you're without them, I'm guessing you're all saying Kelleher in goal, not Adrian.
I mean,
that's not even what I'm worried about, to be honest. It's more Fabinho not being in the field.
Is it not? You weren't worried about playing Adrian in goal.
No, I'm not worried about the fact that Kelleher has to go in. As much as Weston, I think, is still probably the best keeper in the world. At this point, Kelleher's done nothing wrong in his games last season. So, he's a young keeper. Obviously, Leeds, we know, score a lot of goals. But they haven't particularly been on form so far this season. So I think it would be a good little sort of test for him.
Leeds versus Adrian, that would be something to see.
That would be 7-2 again, all over again.
That would be the first double-figure result we've seen in years. That would be horrific. Obviously, United fans are trying to banter you. Why didn't the intro show Premier League? It did, actually, I'm afraid, right at the start. I did get Henderson lifting up that Premier League. Valve's going to be late. Max says, imagine losing to Villarreal in the Europa League. Max asks, well...
It'd be even funnier if they do it again in the Champions League.
It depends really on if you think football just started in 1992. If you're stupid enough to think that football did start in 1992, then yeah, sure, factually you're correct. If you believe that football existed way before 1992, then you're wrong. Liverpool actually have won the most titles than anyone. Oh, actually, no. United just above you by one.
20 versus 19, yeah.
We've got one more, yeah.
United have 20 and Liverpool have 19.
Yeah, but you trump them on Champions Leagues anyway because you've got 6 and they've got 3.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows that.
Well, yeah, Klopp counted it on a bus. Plenty of people know what Paisley is. Welcome to Villa, lads.
Most successful British manager in the European Cup.
Yeah, Paisley's an absolute legend.
Just Google that picture of him standing on Anfield with all the trophies that he's won.
Mustafa, you have Ollie while we have Klopp. I know which club is clear. This is true. Right. So Matt Busby Paisley. Right, cool.
It made me laugh seeing that picture of Ronaldo in Ollie's office. And it's like you can just tell that he like that is the one sticking point in it with United at the moment. Obviously they don't have a DM, but a manager like I kind of rate Ollie, but he's not exactly Sir Alex Ferguson, is he? Like what was in like the retro pictures they were putting up on Twitter and stuff like that.
Is there ever gonna be like everyone gets sort of bogged down on the Paisleys, the Fergies, even Wenger?
Yeah.
There's never going to be another one of them walk out. I just football has changed too much. It's all far too commercial. Managers are no longer given that time to build something. You could say Ollie is, and you can argue if he is the right man or not. That you can do that fucking till the cows come home. It doesn't change the fact that football's changed too much. I mean, Jurgen was given time, to be fair, but Jurgen isn't going to stay at Liverpool for the next 20 odd years. So I don't see it. I just don't see how it can happen. But yeah,
fair, by the time you leave, you will have 10 years, over maybe more. He's on a new deal.
When did he come in? He came in
October 2015.
Yeah, I thought it was 2015.
His contract ends in 2024, but there's discussion, like there's sort of little bits around social media that maybe he might sign another 1 or 2 year deal. But I don't know.
I don't know. I swear he said I'm literally leaving at the end of my deal and I want on a vacation.
Yeah, but Klopp's Klopp, isn't he?
Yeah, he wants a vacation, mate. He's like, I'm done with this shit. he's done. The man moans about the fixture congestion for about 5, 6, 7 times a year. Man wants a break. I was about to think where's Bears one. Right, these give over.
Give over.
Oh, the they have to play a few games
from like Champions League.
You only have about 100 players, including your youth academy. But
no, we don't. We've got about 11.
What, including your youth academy
players? Into my head. I don't know why I said 11. You know, like we have got a thin squad.
Yeah, you may have a thin squad, but it's not like you haven't got players underneath that to help. Like, Didham's because Mo Salah can't play every single game. My heart bleeds for you.
He will play every single game.
Yeah, well, my heart bleeds for you. Try doing 46 league games, plus Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and Papa John's Trophy, all on a very limited budget, where your max players paid about $3,000, and then we can talk. Yeah?
It's all about... what's the word?
It's all about the entitlement. It's all about the entitlement.
No, because obviously it's not like you're playing against teams from the Premier League. You're playing against teams that are in the same exact situation, which is also what we're doing.
Exactly, where we play more games than you.
Yeah, but so does everyone else. So therefore, it's
unless anyone here is like trained in sports science and stuff like that, we're basically just throwing around what we think is a.
No, I'm just saying Argyle play more games and moan less than Jurgen. I just wanted to get that bit in there. Although Ryan has moaned on a fair few occasions, so it must be a Scouse thing because he's a Liverpool fan as well. And Jurgen is basically all but Scouse now, isn't he? Yeah, I mean the accent is German, but he's all but Scouse, really. I mean. I wouldn't class him as German, but I want to talk about your new McDonald's kit. I'm sorry, I mean your third kit.
Don't disrespect.
Do we have to?
The kit.
We do, Rhys, and Gini. I will disrespect it because it looks like right. Firstly, I understand what they're trying to do. Right, I understand they're looking at iconic flags of the COP and they're like, oh, we'll try and integrate it into the kit. Yellow was not the color to use at all. Right, not the color. Does not work. It makes it look like
yellow works for us, but it's literally the checkers that screw it. If they'd have just gone for the same retro vibes and just gone, because I saw a picture put on socials of literally they just blocked out the colour to full red on the cuffs and the collar, and it looks clean. So it's mad what like a couple of little white bits can do.
Yeah, but it's because they're trying to incorporate the famous flags from the COP, the checkered flags and all that, and It does something. It is something that resembles something a clown would wear. A McDonald's worker, same thing. A clown McDonald's worker.
Nothing wrong with McDonald's workers.
No, absolutely not. Until they fuck up, and until they fuck up your breakfast, and then there's a major problem with them.
Why are you going to McDonald's for breakfast?
Mate, I was hungover one day. I was very hungover one day. Could barely get out of bed, so I decided to lay in bed and order my breakfast to my door. I ordered a brown wrap, and in comes a red wrap. I was fucking fuming. I was not impressed. Imagine being that stupid. But that's enough of the battering of fast food workers for one day. Rack, what do you make
underpaid.
of it? Yeah, well, they are definitely underpaid. I will give them that. They're definitely underpaid. I've worked in fast food myself, and the managers are pricks. But what do you make of the kit? It's probably the most divisive kit there is. It's definitely divided opinion.
Look, I mean, the thing is that everyone always wants to love all the kits. First of all, it's a bit weird because I don't know anyone who buys more than one kit. I certainly don't. And each kit, if you're going to do a kit or selection of kits properly, like a collection, like I guess to some extent, like you do in fashion, you want each kit to hit a demographic or to hit a target market. My background is in marketing, so I know a little bit about how these kind of things tend to work. And you'll have your red kit, your home kit, the classic. That's what the vast majority you're going to sell the most of, and that's where the majority of your money is going to come. You don't want to offend anybody, so just make it nice and neutral and plain and simple, and everyone likes that kind of stuff. Then you've got your Ep5 kit, which is a bit of a throwback, harks back to like the 90s and that kind of thing. So a little bit of nostalgia, but a modern take. That will hit a different demographic. And then you've got this one, the third kit, which obviously will wear the least amount because it's our third kit. And they want to target people, perhaps people that aren't even interested in football. Like one of the big things in the Nike deal that came out was they wanted to target celebrities and fashion people and musicians and all that kind of stuff. So, this targets a different demographic. Look at Man United's kit last season, the black and white one. Yeah. Most people, the vast majority of people didn't really like that. But if you're a little bit crazy, you want something a little bit, looking very different. Same thing happened with the Nigeria kit a few years ago, which was all the rage, sold out, went viral, went crazy. You couldn't pick it up anywhere, and you saw loads of people who weren't Nigerian walking around with Nigeria kits. So it is what it is, man. There's no need to get my own about it.
Wolf says, "Hello, Liverpool fans. I would like a Big Mac, Diet Pepsi, and some chicken nuggets. Thank you."
Love to see it from McDonald's.
It's Coca-Cola, isn't it? But talking of mad, Gini, you like the kit, don't you? So maybe what Ravi has just summed up perfectly. That same people not too into it, but the mental, not Ravi, Rack. It's because Ravi's always in the chat.
Ravi's a chat.
Ravi's brilliant. But Ravi's not on the stream. It's definitely Rack. But Gini, you're a bit crazy, so you like the kit, don't you?
My eyes have bled seeing some of the responses to this kit because it's a thing of absolute beauty. I think that's the nicest kit we produced since. I don't actually know. This is I love this kit so much.
Since August.
Nah, this is the best kit in years. What a kit!
Are you being serious, Gini?
Yeah, no, I pre-ordered it with Matip on the back.
Oh my god! Please don't wear that on stream, Gini. It will hurt my eyes. Wolf says, "Okay, Rhys, get me a Coca-Cola." Actually, I'll add that. Not Coca-Cola. I've seen a comment from Valve that I want to get everyone's opinion on in a bit. But Rhys, that kit, I'm guessing you're not sharing Gini's enthusiasm nor love for the kit.
Sadly not, no. I had the similar sort of feeling for the home kit at the time when it was first sort of leaked and released and stuff. But, seeing it on the players, it at least looks good. I'm not sure the third kit does. When something looks weird on Virgil van Dijk, that I don't think anything else can save it, to be fair. I'm not going to buy it. If people want to, that's on them. But It's not a favourite of mine. Let's just say I won't be buying it.
Yeah, we won't get dragged into kits too much. I just thought it was quite an interesting one to talk about.
I mean, look, just on this point, you've got Rhys obviously that doesn't like it at all. Me, I'm not.
Gini,
I'm neutral on it, and Gini really likes it. So they've done their job. They've got at least a certain segment of the Liverpool fan base interested in that particular kit because maybe it's different, maybe it's because whatever the case may be.
Well, a third kit has to be wild, doesn't it? And I think they've got it spot on, so I love it. And it's got Nike written on it, which is even better.
I can confirm that I won't be buying it as well.
What a joke! Get out of the club.
I'm not in the club for. I'm not in the club for starters. Nor would I want to be because I don't support any Premier League club because my club's never been there. What the fuck is the Premier League? But I want to talk about something because obviously, as we all know, Velv has got more issues than you care to imagine. We are looking to get help for him, but he hasn't taken it as of yet. He's under the impression that you lot are picking up Jude Bellingham next year. Just whack out 80 million smackaroos onto the table. Jobs are good, and you're walking away with Bellingham.
Hey, Jude.
Now, in reality. Or no, in Football Manager, more than plausible, as long as you edit that Liverpool have a bit more money in their transfer kitty than they normally do. In reality, Jurgen Klopp's going to be given, I don't know, Dwight McNeil. But do you realistically see Jude Bellingham in a Liverpool shirt next year? I mean, we've had Mbappe over the summer that's going to be joining next year on a free. You've now got Jude Bellingham. It looks like you're assembling a great team. The wages, I'm not sure what you're doing with wages. I'm presuming fuck the wage structure that Liverpool have built so much. Sort of like they've worked on the wage structure and had it in place for donkeys and not even Mo Salah's on ridiculous money. But hey, you've just got spare money for Mbappe's wages and Jude Bellingham's fee.
Well, fun fact, I'm mates with his brother, so I'm going to force him to come.
Of course.
No, I actually am. I'm mates with I know his brother. So and my wife is Beyonce. No, I promise you I do. I know Joe Bellingham.
Yeah, I promise you that Beyonce is my wife.
Let me put it in the chat, you absolute stud.
He's absolutely cuckoo. But Rack, offer something a little bit more sensible. Jude Bellingham, £80 million is probably the talking fee that you'd have to stumble up. How many bake sales are FSG doing this year?
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't know about that, but every man and his dog wants Bellingham at their club. Certainly, United obviously they were interested in him before he went to Dortmund. I'd be surprised if we're not interested. Chelsea apparently looking at him. He would, judging by what I've seen of him at Dortmund, he'd be brilliant. And he's just so young that, in terms of ceiling, the potential is unlimited almost. Whether it's going to happen, I don't know. I mean, look, I thought we would sign players this summer. I expected us to get a striker and a midfielder in, and at the very least, we should have got a striker in. And I was like, I've been quite supportive of FSG over the years, but I think that was an opportunity missed, and so I do have to question links like this now. I hope it happens, but I can't say with any certainty because that would be stupid.
Yeah, I also hope that Beyonce rings me up tonight, and we can get married and make sure that we don't sign prenup and then I divorce her. But Rhys, what about you? Jude Bellingham, I'm sure you'd love him and he'd be a great player, but unfortunately 80 million is probably well out of FSG's price range.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to jump on the hype train as much as I did with Mbappe last year. But I mean, as we've seen from this summer, FSG just aren't going to spend that kind of money. I don't think the wages at all would be an issue because at the end of the day, what was he, 18? He's not stupid enough, I don't think, to ask for that, high sort of wages at the sort of club that we are. And I think he would be the perfect sort of replacement for somebody like a Henderson, especially long term. Obviously, we see he picks up kind of more and more injuries each season. Milner's leaving after this season. Still to see Cater at his best. Ox would likely leave next year. So it would probably make sense. I can't say it wouldn't. And, you know, he would be able to be in our midfield for, 10, 15 years, as long as we didn't sell him or injuries or whatever. But, yeah, it's just realistically, I don't think it's going to happen.
Realistically, you'll be in for Bellingham and you'll whack out Tom Cleverley. That is realistically, maybe you'll go better than Tom Cleverley. Maybe I don't know. We sign Ox on a new contract because we will talk about deadline day because there were Liverpool fans absolutely fucking raging. I can't remember if we spoke about it last time. I cannot remember. It's been too long. But deadline day, you sort of, yeah. How do I put this? You didn't make any signings, but you decided to
flip on the FIFA calendar.
Yeah, what you did is you've given Henderson a new contract. So I guess that there were reports of that wasn't going to happen, but that has happened. And then you also gave Nat Phillips a contract. Now, the interesting thing about these contracts were they were released on deadline day. I'm guessing FSG had a mind block on when they should release it because from someone looking outside the club and speaking to Liverpool fans regularly, they're not too impressed with the transfer activity at best. Then you decided to piss them off that on deadline day, you're not signing anyone, but you're just going to introduce some new contracts. I mean, Rak, you touched on not getting a striker. Does this change the expectations of the season? Because you are weak, not weak, but you're weak in depth going forward. At the back, you're not too bad, but one injury to Salah or Mane or Firmino, and you're already on your last legs.
Yeah, look, like I said, I think the transfer window was an opportunity missed. I don't try not to get too wound up about it because the thing is we have got a really, really good team. Like our first 11, in my opinion, is the best in the league or very close to the best in the league. And you know we've done okay in the first 3 games of the season. We're only going to get better. So I'm not willing to see, especially after 3 games, concede the league and say no, we can't win it. The thing that strengthening the squad would have done, it would have meant we would have needed probably a little bit less luck. You know, if we'd have got a striker in, then we can afford to perhaps get an injury to a Salah or something in the short term. If we'd have got a midfielder in, then perhaps we couldn't have afforded to, if Fabinho's out, for example. We could probably, do okay despite that.
Yeah.
This means the setup of the squad at the moment means that there's very little room if shit hits the fan, and that was disappointing. But yeah, my expectation is still to win the league. If we don't win the league or don't win the Champions League, I think for us it's a failure. So we got to aim higher. If we don't get it, we don't get it. Fair enough.
Yeah. No, I hear that. Gini, what about you? What's your thoughts on a lack of a striker, or anyone coming in?
Yeah, if there was, I wasn't on the midfield hype train, but we did need a striker, someone that can put the ball in the back of the net, especially going into Leeds. Our only out and out attacker on the bench would be Divock Origi, which is crazy to think. But like Rak said, and I'd say it with Chess, we do have the best 11 in the league. It's just the depth that obviously everyone questions. So I still think we can win the league. Whether we will, another question. But I'm still confident and I'm still buzzing for the season as well. We have fans back. It's back to normality. So, yeah, it's Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool side at the end of the day, so you just never know.
Yeah, I mean, we saw last season that you're 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe more injuries away from shit hitting the fan. I mean, you had defenders last year, so I'm presuming attackers this year, and we'll see Van Dijk up front. Which will probably it'll be a sight for sore eyes. I'll tell you. I don't know what be one of the best target mans. I think because he's quite
goals.
Yeah, probably
the crosses we put in.
Why have you not? Right, we'll go to Rhys. Rhys, have I given you? Have you had your say?
I mean,
If not,
he's
we're going to
obviously
discuss
been
it.
up for, like the famous Origi goal against Everton, for example. He hit a volley on the edge of the box. It was a skewed one. It was Pickford's error, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, if he's up and around in the attacking third, he's always a danger because he's just so brilliant
So,
in the air.
what do Liverpool do? They flood crosses. They're very, very good at putting a cross in. So why not Van Dijk up front?
Because I think we would be too scared of conceding a second, and I think Klopp isn't something.
No.
He's not somebody.
You put Konate at the back with Matip or Gomez with Matip, and then you put Van Dijk
we've
up
already
front.
made our 3 subs.
Well,
So it's the 87th minute. We've made 3 subs.
I'm being serious. I'm taking Van Dijk's no longer a centre back. You put him up front, job sorted.
Don't think it works like that, no.
To be fair, for Alisson's
I don't
quite
think he has the attacking awareness or the positioning.
Well, to be fair, neither does Firmino.
I mean, Firmino is good in other areas. Come on.
You could put him in central midfield. But
he basically does anyway. He's basically a 10.
So put Hendo in defence with Matip, then put Firmino into central midfield with Fab and, I don't know, Harvey Elliott, and Van Dijk up front. Job sorted. Liverpool scored bare amount of goals.
In the league with that.
You'll literally be the Burnley of Liverpool. Literally. What are we doing today, boys? Well, hit it long. Van Dijk's going to do some magic. I'm presuming that Rack is not too keen on the idea of Van Dijk as a striker.
I mean, no, that hasn't entered my my consciousness as an option. So no.
Could you just imagine me as a manager? Just I'm listening to something and then I'm like,
stick the
I
big
don't
man
want
up front.
I'm a bit concerned about what you do on FM.
FM. Oh, what do I do on FM? FM's different. FIFA on the other hand. If I need a goal, I do put a centre back up top. That has happened a couple of times.
Goes for player instructions. Player striker.
No, I'm a tactical genius, to be frankly honest with you. And if I was Liverpool manager, I think I would do it against you. No. Because what I would have done is I would have looked at Lindelof and Maguire and gone, easy pickings. Van Dijk's up front for the Northwest Derby. Watch him bag a hat trick and watch me be held as a tactical genius. But yeah, back to real life and not FIFA. Although Van Dijk has scored a goal for me on FIFA before, from a corner, surprisingly. That's just Van Dijk in a nutshell, though. Dylan says, really nice kit. Great job, Liverpool. I'm not sure if he's being sarcastic. He is a United fan, so you never know. We did use Kalorka as a target man in Norwich for Corker. Oh, crikey. I don't remember him. I remember the name, but I don't remember him.
He was a loan. We loaned him
QPR.
from Southampton, I think.
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah,
The
he was
QPR lad.
QPR. He was
Yeah,
I think he's
the
in
one.
Turkey now, randomly.
Would not surprise me. There seems to be like 2 or 3 retirement leagues sort of just built up now. So you got La Liga, which has now turned into the ultimate retirement league. Just go ask Barcelona. Then you got the MLS, which is
Spanish league.
Well, you've got Daniel Sturridge
retirement.
and Radamel Falcao up butting heads in La Liga 2, I think it is.
yeah.
It might be La Liga. They might have got promoted. But
Okay, so the whole of the Spanish leagues are just a retirement home then. Just literally ask Barcelona.
every weekend.
Well, exactly. I mean, it makes sense, actually, because instead of having a jet halfway across the world like Rooney and Lampard and Gerrard did, you could just hop onto a plane to Spain, go Mallorca or Madrid or Barcelona, have a really nice sort of couple of years, catch your sun. For Sergio Aguero, it appears to not play because he don't want to play without Messi. But it would appear that and now you've got Turkey. So you've got a few retirement leagues just sort of popping up all over the place, which is good to see them supporting the older lot. Obviously, we can't do that too much because you get relegated if you do that. But yeah, so La Liga, great league. La Chica, wow. Well, I don't think I'd go that far for La Liga, but It would appear that Atletico Madrid are now the biggest club in Spain. But enough for me now apparently going for Spanish football next. I think it's because Florentino Perez is a cunt. I think it's because of him. I think genuinely,
Probably.
I wouldn't actually dislike Spanish football if he wasn't there. Like, if it's a bit like Boris. I don't really like listening to Boris. He's a clown. Very similar to Florentino Perez. If they just stood there and shut their mouths, I probably wouldn't have an issue. It's when they open their mouth that I start to have an issue. For example, Super League. But we've got a couple of games to preview, actually. Because you obviously, we've got 2 until next show. One in the Premier League, and nostalgia is going to hit Anfield on Wednesday night. But we'll start with Leeds on Sunday. So you're going to Ellen Road. Rack, we'll just assume that your Brazilian players are banned. We'll take 2 takes of this. Right. Take 1, your Brazilian players are banned and Jurgen Klopp's about to go punch someone. And then take 2 is the Brazilian players have they're allowed to play and Jurgen Klopp's bought Brazil a cake.
What?
Brazil a cake is an interesting.
He's gone to
image.
Tesco. He's gone to Tesco, bought a birthday cake, and sent it off to Brazil.
Tesco's finest, of course. Not
Of course. He had to put in half the money himself because FSG wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, look, are you asking for predictions? Sorry, after that preview,
Well,
I didn't quite.
No, so just talk through the game in both scenarios, and we'll go to predictions in a bit.
Okay, I mean, Leeds obviously going to be a tough team, but they also play pretty open, and in that regard, I think they'll play into our hands to some extent. Obviously, if we don't have the Brazilians, he who shall not be named can't play in goal. It has to be Kelleher, and we'll obviously miss Fat.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's not registered, but sure.
He's not in the team, is he? In the squad, is he? The Premier League squad?
No, he's not been registered.
To be fair, if I was Liverpool, I would have registered Karius over Adrian, but that's just personal opinion.
I mean, yeah, I would have done too as well, to be honest. But I feel like we still have enough that we can cause them problems, and I think in both scenarios we're still capable of winning. We need to win because we can't afford to have like a mediocre start to the season. We have to be on it from the get go. And I think actually, Leeds, although they're a good team and they're obviously well coached, there are holes there that we can exploit, and I expect us to do so regardless of who plays.
Regardless of if your Brazilians are available, or does that change the game in any way? Obviously, it removes Rafinha from them, but it removes half your starting 11.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, I think the critical person missing there might be Fabinho, but then in that instance, I'd expect Hendo to switch into the DM role. Thiago, I expect to start, and then the question is going to be, apparently Elliott is back fit, but I'm not sure
He's
if
in
that
training.
midfield is yeah, so...
Would you be tempted to give Harvey Elliott a go? It looked
It's probably
very
just
good,
about what's happened with Keita as well, isn't it? Like, it's just who's in better match sharpness out of Elliott. Is he
Is Keita
100%
back
fit?
now?
And is Keita actually okay to play? Yeah, I think he arrived back today.
He did? Okay. I mean, look...
I think he was in training because I saw pictures of him and Thiago.
Maybe give him a week. Maybe give him a week off and put him back in. Maybe play him against Milan.
I would try and play Keita if he is available, because Fabinho will be back from Milan, and we'll have a full strength team at that point.
He missed Chelsea as well, didn't he? So be good to get him into.
To be fair, like
fitness.
Naby, the first 2 games of the season, I thought he was strong. I thought he played really well. So I'd like to see more of him. I'd really like to see him fulfill his potential, but I don't know if that will happen. But yeah, the fact that he started well is encouraging. So I'd like to see him in the starting lineup if he's ready to play.
Yeah, I hear that. What about you, Rhys? How are you seeing the game at Ellen Mode with or without your Brazilians?
Yeah, so without Fabinho especially, we would definitely lose some of the control. I've noticed that when we don't have him, we just I think we start quite slowly. We can't quite get on the ball, and that's when sort of end-to-end first 10, 15 minutes usually happens in games. Fabinho seems to be the one that can sort of put in a challenge and just calm stuff down a bit. Obviously, we know how good he is in every aspect of his game. You know, he's got great passing, he can set the forwards in and stuff like that. But yeah, obviously with Ali, we're just a lot more composed and assured at the back, especially because, you know, Kelleher never really plays, so you just have that assurity. Obviously Bobby's out, so it's just them two. But I think we would probably lose a bit of the control. It'll be more of an end-to-end game, but I think either way we should probably win.
Yeah, I hear that. Chris says, I wouldn't be against Tsimikas starting this game as Robbo's been away with Scotland.
Kostas has played, I think, every minute for Greece, or most of the games for Greece, though, anyway, so it's a bit of a toss-up.
But you probably would. Do you risk Robbo? He had an injury, played all the games for Scotland. It's all about management, isn't it? Or managing them. RJ says, damn, Rhys, nice haircut, mate, but what the fuck is that third kit? I'm loving it.
Don't get me started on the third kit. I already made my case yesterday.
Chris has said Kelleher, Arnold, Matic, Van Dijk, Tsimikas, Hendo, Thiago, Keita, Salah, Jota, Mane. I expect Koundé or Gomez to play Wednesday versus Milan.
Koundé?
Or Konate.
Well, we signed him.
Konate. It's only because Koundé is pretty much the same spelling. Konate or Gomez to play Wednesday versus Milan. I expect Robbo will play Wednesday too. Cool. So that is what Chris will go for. Wolf is just doing a United fan invasion. It wouldn't be the first time United have invaded the pitch. But Gini, talk to me about Sunday. Talk to me about Sunday.
Yeah. Good to have Liverpool playing again. But it's a Liverpool game, so I'm nervous for it. But do I think we can win? I'm scared of the Elland Road crowd of more than actually Leeds, to be fair, and the way that they can bolster their team. But it's definitely a winnable game. We should win. I expect us to win, and I predict us to win as well.
We'll get into
predictions later.
We'll get into predictions after we've let Valve. Wolf says, "Damn, now the shade." Yeah, I do apologise profusely. You can speak to my lawyer RJ. But Valvishwan, also, firstly, you can take Jude Bellingham out of that Liverpool kit for a starter. There's not enough bake sales in one calendar year for you to get that much money for Bellingham. Especially if you also want Mbappe as well. I mean, Jesus Christ, you're adding more money than there is FSG checkbooks. But Valvishwan, talk to me about Leeds. How are you seeing the game going?
Leeds Espesura, Liverpool vencerá a el 2-0.
Right, and now in English.
Leeds are rubbish, we'll beat them 2-0.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. And what language were you speaking?
Spanish.
Right. That would explain why I didn't understand. Actually, why am I saying that? I don't understand any other language. I have to whack out Google Translate if someone's talking foreignly in Twitch, which has happened. We just have a conversation. I type in what they say on Google Translate, read it out, and all is good. But next up, actually, score predictions. So, Rak, what are you going for score prediction? Is Rak awake? I said score predictions for Sunday.
He is shocked about my Spanish, how good it was.
Valve, we're shocked on you by a daily
He's that
basis.
good he fell asleep.
2-0.
2-0. I hear that. What about you, Rhys?
3-1.
3-1.
3-1 with the Brazilians, 2-1 without them.
I mean, this is on Super Sunday, and you're the only game played, so I expect a fucking good game. That's all I say.
Oh, it'll be a good game.
It fucking better be. Richard says, in Bielsa we trust. Wolf says 4-0 Leeds. Goals, Daniel James, Bamford. Bamford ain't got that ability. Come on, Valve, do a Spanish dance for me. Right. Gini, score prediction?
With the Brazilians 3-1, without the Brazilians 3-0.
So you think that you're going to have a better game without your Brazilians than if your Brazilians were there?
Yeah.
There is logic to that.
Yeah, because
I don't-
If it's a more open and end-to-end game, then we'll likely have more chances in behind.
No, it's not
If
even
we've
that.
got more of the ball, then obviously they're more likely to sort of drop in.
Now, Gini hates Alisson, that's why. So
I just think that I think if it's pretty much if Rafinha plays, I can see them scoring. If Rafinha,
I mean,
doesn't play,
technically-
I don't think they'll score.
technically, we do have a Brazilian playing, Thiago.
Okay, Valve. Cheers. Thanks for
Thank you for that very valuable input there, Valve. Richard says Somerville will be on the score sheet. I've no idea who he is. Mark my words.
Jamaican guy, some Jamaican kid.
Oh, nice. And Dylan has spoken a language that I do not know, and nor will I even try and work it out. Dylan, translate that for me. Well, nah, no shit, Sherlock. I knew that was German. It was just I'm not bothering.
You said I don't know which language it is.
Well, I had a guess. Also, it said gut, and it looks German.
He just called me. Barbashaw is not very good and quite small.
Makes sense. But talk to me, score prediction for Sunday. I was about to say Saturday, but Sunday's game.
With the Brazilians, 2-0. Without the Brazilians, 2-0. Without Salah Mane, 2-0. Without Kelleher, 2-0. Without Alexander-Arnold, 2-0. Without Van Dijk, 2-0. Without Robertson, 2-0.
Right, go back to sleep, lad.
2-0.
So, Valve,
Leeds 2-0.
I'm guessing you're just saying 2-0 then, yeah?
1-0.
I genuinely give up on. I give up. But as I said, we've got a Champions League game to look at as well. And when I said nostalgia was coming to Anfield, I absolutely meant it, because on Wednesday at Anfield, a European night in front of a full Anfield again, a full cop. It is Liverpool versus AC Milan. Now, let's be fair, this is not the same AC Milan of 2005, nor is it the same Liverpool. Liverpool are much better now. But nostalgia is coming back. Rak, are you excited for this game? Look, of course you should be expecting to win. Milan should really be able to beat this Liverpool side. But in terms of nostalgia, it's going to be an interesting game, and I'm definitely going to do a watch along for it, I think.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's European royalty, British or English clubs, European royalty in ourselves, and European royalty in terms of Italy. AC Milan have one more Champions League than us. They have 7, or Champions League, European Cup. We have 6, and we're second, third behind Madrid. Ourselves are joined Bayern Munich. So, in terms of success, obviously it's huge. I used to live in Italy, so I've got a lot of Italian friends. I've got a few friends who are Milan fans, so that should be there'll be some interesting banter thrown around, I'm sure. But look, I'm confident. I think we'll win. Milan are a decent side, but Serie A is a fair bit weaker than it has been since its heyday. And although they have a few good players like Kessie and guys like that, none of them are what I would consider anywhere near. I don't know, maybe Kessie's close to being on the verge of being world class, perhaps. But in general, I think we're pretty much better in every department. So I expect us to win. It'll be a great event and a great atmosphere, and we'll win 3-0.
Yeah, we don't need to do with or without.
Sorry, I don't. You want to do the predictions afterwards? But
no, it's fine. It's fine because we haven't got Brazilians to worry about for this game because they'll definitely be back for this one. But Rhys, AC Milan versus Liverpool. I'm not sure you were into football back when you won this Champions League. It was quite a famous one, believe it or not. You certainly definitely shouldn't have won it. I still I don't understand how you won it, and I don't think anyone ever will understand how you won it. You were 3-0 down at half-time, and they had Maldini. So theoretically, you should never have won that. He wasn't the only player, mind you. That Milan side had a lot of good players.
Incredible. That was
Didn't
incredible.
Jersey Dudek it go?
Yeah.
We did indeed. If you look at their starting 11, it was just packed. You had Nesta, Cafu, bloody
Seedorf, Kaka.
Seedorf, it's just mad. They had Crespo and Shevchenko in their prime up front. It was just the
literally
mad
every
team.
player was world class. It was mental, that team.
Yeah.
I was 2 when that game happened, and I had no idea what a football was. So
you missed out, buddy. You missed out.
Yeah,
I'm clear. I was 7 at the. Actually, no, I was 10 at the time. I think I watched it.
Yeah, I have no memory of basically what I did last week, let alone when I was 2. So it is obviously a nostalgic one. It's a game that I've never seen us play unless it's a pre-season game, I believe. I think we played one like 5-6 years ago or something like that. I don't think we've played them since the 07 final.
Maybe it was in America or something like that. I don't think they.
We definitely played them when they had like Philip Mexes or something at the back. I remember that. Yeah, it was a while ago. But obviously, I don't know if Ibra's back 100% yet. I know I saw him in training, but he didn't go away with the national team. They've obviously got some good players. Pardon?
I think he had COVID, or was it Giroud?
Oh, right, okay. But yeah, I mean, obviously they've lost guys like Donnarumma, but they've replaced him with another good keeper in Mannion. They've got some good players. What did they come 4th in the league last year? Was it or 3rd? They're really improving from their sort of misery years in the 2010s. But I think it'll be a good game, especially is it at Anfield? Yeah. So I mean, obviously the Anfield crowd, European night, everyone will be up for it. I think we should win, but I think it'll be a really good game for the neutrals as well.
Yeah, I hear that. Gini, what about you? AC Milan at Anfield. You can't get more nostalgia than that, can you?
Oh, I can't wait for it. It's going to be absolutely bouncing inside Anfield. So, I'm buzzing for it. Although I do think Milan could be a little bit like Madrid last season, where everyone thinks they're a bit of a fallen giant. I actually think the team that they got and the form that they're in, I think we're underestimating them. I think they're a better team than people.
Well, they gave United a good go in the Europa League last season, didn't they? It took Paul Pogba to
exactly. I read that they've scored 6 and conceded 1 in 2 games, which isn't bad either. So they're on good form. And Zlatan and Kessie are back as well. Good. Well, obviously, I feel bad for him, but it's a positive for us that Giroud's out because he can always be a handful, especially against us. So but we have the crowd, and I can't wait to go.
Yeah, so last 2 Serie A games, they played Sampdoria and won 1-0. Played Cagliari. Yeah, something like that.
Look at that pronunciation.
4-1. Well, Rak was. Didn't you say you had Italian friends and were in Italy?
Yeah, I went to uni in Italy. So
yeah, so I would expect Rak to have a better pronunciation of Italian cities than the pasty white kid from Plymouth. Believe it or not, just henching my bet. But did you say a score prediction, Gini?
No.
What's your score prediction?
No.
So Gini's just said 5-0 Liverpool. Make sure we clip that up. But what about you, Velv?
What was the score between Rotherham and Doncaster Rovers?
6-0.
That's my score prediction for Liverpool.
Right.
Your score.
Do you have any thoughts of the game? Anything more substantial than you're gonna thrash AC Milan 6-0?
6-0. It's not gonna be 6-0.
That's what I'll be clipping up. Don't you worry.
Oh. Yeah, they have a very good team, Milan. They got a good defense, good midfield, decent attack. Feel like I think Giroud missing for them will be crucial because I think he's a very, very good striker. Always gives us a problem when he plays against us. I believe he scored when he played last time, so it'll be good to see him not playing. Zlatan, he'll try bully Van Dijk, but we saw what Van Dijk did to Lukaku. Zlatan ain't going to do that at all. I think, who's that guy? Leon. Yeah, Leon, pacey forward. He'll be up against Matip and Trent. I expect them to handle him well. I think it's all about the midfield battle for me. Let's see if we can get past the Kessie. I'm not sure about Tonilo, if he might be playing, or because I think he's a very good DM for them. And then the defense, Kijer, he's a very good leader at the back for them. And yeah, it'll be difficult, but I feel like we'll win it with the Anfield crowd with us. And I think overall we have a better team.
So Wolf says 3-0 Liverpool, goals from Ronald McDonald. Ronald McDonald hat-trick. Should be an interesting one.
What a player. Better than Origi.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be frankly honest, Rhys, I'm a better player than him.
Wait, how is Origi still here? I forgot he's still here, man. Oh.
I unfortunately did not forget.
Yeah, he's never
my first
leaving.
thoughts every time I wake up in the morning.
just to wake up, you're like, fuck.
I just wake up and cry instantly.
I keep getting woken up by the phone, so now I turn it off. People try ringing at me because I've got two phones, one where I take calls and one where I just Twitter and all that. So I just keep the Twitter one open, just put it on mute and turn the other one off. Or put it in the bathroom, one or two. It should be an interesting one. Two big games for Liverpool. I think two big tests as well. Leeds are going to test you obviously physically, not physical, but in terms of energy levels, and if you're tired in any way, shape, or form when you're facing Leeds United, pray to Lord Baby Jesus Christ because you're going to need it, especially a Bielsa Leeds United. And then obviously a nostalgia with a decent Milan side. Obviously, Kessie is one wanted by I think everyone. I mean, he's not signed new contract. I mean, surely that would be a more sensible transfer to be pushing for Liverpool, Kessie, because realistically,
I think there was links this week of apparently swap deal between him and Thiago, which obviously would never happen. But
I don't think you even need to do that. You could just literally go, we'll get him on a free next summer. That would be more sensible than pushing Jude Bellingham, because I also think Kessie, maybe fits. No, I'm not saying Jude Bellingham doesn't fit Liverpool. That would be absurd.
Well, he can definitely play the 6 better than Bellingham can.
Well, yeah, of course.
He's obviously a more mature and more sort of experienced player. Obviously, plays in a double pivot, I think, predominantly for Milan. So he's definitely got the 6 and the 8, which obviously Gini was so good in both.
It's a weird one because Kessie loves Milan. Like he first, I think, year 18 months or so, it wasn't so great for him. But recently he's become integral to the way they play, and there's been talk since the summer that he's going to be signing a new contract. But obviously, the longer that goes on, that question mark is hanging over, his head and Milan's head. The more
the same thing with Donnarumma, wasn't it? And obviously, they had to let him go as well because I guess they can't keep up with the money restraints.
Yeah, it's like Lukaku as well. I mean, Lukaku said he wanted to stay, and I genuinely believe he did want to stay at Chelsea. But at the end of the day, with Milan, don't really have too much of a say in the sense that it's down to Kessie to sign that contract. Otherwise, and sign a pre-contract in January.
Well, I was just about to say January is when we're expecting Real Madrid to just casually walk up to Kylian Mbappe over pre-contract and look, if Liverpool and FSG are smart, they'll be like, well, we'll do exactly the same with Kessie, because instead of whacking out, and again, we all know that FSG ain't whacking out 8 million because they don't know what £8 million looks like. But in terms of Kessie, I just think that makes more sense personally. But look, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But we are going to wrap it up there. We've been going for an hour, as always. It's been fun. It's been fun. We've spoken about kits, preview 2 games. Said that you're definitely not getting Belgium. I can confirm Liverpool are not getting Belgium, but you're definitely not getting Bellingham either. And apparently United have got Ronaldo.
It will happen. Clip this. Jude Bellingham will be a Liverpool player next summer.
I don't know where you get your energy to play on these hype
Maybe
trains,
AFC, but not Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah, you also keep touching your mic, Velvishwan, and you're so lucky that I can't reach in through.
It's actually not my mic. It's the wind for some reason.
The wind? What? Where are you doing?
You sit on your roof.
He's on his roof and tied. His family just don't want him in the house, so they've decided to put him on the roof. Makes perfect sense to me.
It's a good place to do stuff. But
I don't want to. Right, but moving on before Velvishwan, God knows. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Big day tomorrow. Got Chelsea. Got Formula 1 sprint qualifying tomorrow at 5:30. Chelsea show at 6. United show at 10. Birmingham Derby watch along tomorrow as well. And then this weekend we're doing all 3 Premier League games. And not Ronaldo's return because that's not televised. Sky and BT have done a massive fuck up there because that would have got lots of viewers, believe it or not. But before we go, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well if you are new to the channel. But Rak, where can they find you, mate?
You can find me here, obviously, every Thursday. When I'm not asleep. So yeah, you can catch me here I do a Liverpool show on the First 11 channel every Monday with Steve and some of the guys over there, which is always good fun. Doug as well from the football dugout. Usually on the terrace every now and then. And Twitter, that's my Twitter, and you can catch me on Spaces at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning talking absolute nonsense with other people who are doing exactly the same.
Yeah, I've listened to a couple. Gini has finally worked out how to host a space, I think. But Rhys, where can they find you, mate?
Over on Twitter at LFC_Rhys and on TikTok Rhys_JB and here on YouTube RJB TV.
Perfect. Gini, what about you? Okay, you can find Gini at Genie in a Bottle on Twitter. What about you, Velvishwan?
Puedes encontrarme en Twitter, Instagram at vel_skills.
Unbelievable, this kid. We'll be back tomorrow, but until then, guys, thanks for watching and peace out.